Hello everyone, welcome to the Selkares Wargaming channel for the second part of the tank training video. So as promised, I'll be making three things in this video. First, a little explanation, talk about the stabilizers, then about the efficient range of the tanks, and then a little tips about tanks using ATGMs. So first thing I need to know to tell you is I verified the formula is indeed AP minus armor value divided by 2 plus 1 gives you the damage your tank will deal to another unit. This has a small exception. The armor 0 and 1 units take 4 times the damage that they should usually take, representing the fact that they are really weak against tank shells. Another thing, accuracy is actually 1 point of accuracy is 5% hit chance, so 2 is 10%, 3 is 15, so 8 here is 40%. Of course, that is modified by the veterancy of the unit. The veterancy is a small multiplier, so it's times 1 for no veterancy, goes up to times 1.7 or 1.8. We're not sure of those numbers, some people test it and it seems to be around that, so that's pretty nice. And it also depends on the size of the enemy unit and if you are moving or not. If you are moving, it's your accuracy plus veterancy and size of enemy unit. If you are not moving, if you are moving, it all depends on your stabilizers. I told you in the first video that this is an important stat, but it's actually not as important as one would think, because you would think there are maybe 3 situations in which you want to use them. It's actually when you are moving, so when you are attacking, when you are retreating, and when you are just moving around the battlefield. Moving around the battlefield, you generally don't shoot, so you can put that aside. Retreating, yes, it's important. If you are attacked and you want to retreat like this with the reverse button, your tanks will pull back and continue shooting at the upcoming enemy. So that's useful to have a good stabilizer. But on the other hand, in the attack position, when you want to attack, you generally use the attack move. If I activate this weapon, the attack orders your unit to move to that point and stops every time it sees an enemy and shoots at it. And that's the key word, it stops. So that means that an attack move actually uses the basic accuracy and not the stabilizer modification. So that's pretty nice. So as you can see, if you attack move, even if the visuals of the tank are still moving a bit, slowing down to stop, the game takes into account the fact that the tank is stopped and is shooting with its basic accuracy and not with its stabilizers. So that's pretty nice. So that's for the stabilizers. Second thing, the range. So as you can see, if I press the fire position here or the shortcut, I can see the range of my tank with the range indicated with the number over here. We've got a line here. The full line indicates your range, the transparent line indicates you're out of range, and the pointy line, like here, indicates you are out of line of sight. So here, for instance, the building or the trees are blocking my line of sight. There is a fourth nuance here, which is actually this transparent one just behind the full one. It's much more transparent than the basic one, like this one. Let me show you the difference. If I pull back a bit, here's my line, I've got my range, and then the inefficient range, I could still fire at that range, but I'm inefficient, my AP isn't strong enough to penetrate the enemy tank. And then I've got the other transparent line, but a bit less, which is the out of range. So basically we've got 3 states: your range, your inefficient range, and then out of range. And if, as you can see here, I'm at 2,100 meters. I've got 15 AP for 17 armor, so I need to go to earn plus 2 AP to kill him. And if I move up to him, it's actually, I was at 2,100 and I'm gonna be at 1,000 and maybe 700, 1,750. So it's basically 300 or 400 meters to gain 2 AP, so it's basically 175 meters per AP or 200. So that's basically around the range you need to move to get a bonus AP power. So that's it on the different ranges and different visual indications you have while shooting with a tank. So last little thing, it's a little tip with ATGM tanks. So basically what do we have? On the packed side we have a lot of tanks with ATGMs, and on the NATO side we don't have as much. High-end tanks on the NATO side are basically very strong thanks to their AP, their accuracy here 11 and a high AP power. Even a ATU has a bad accuracy 8 over here, so that means that this guy has a 40% chance to hit without considering the size and the veterancy. Well, this guy here has 55% chance to hit, plus 15%, so that's quite a nice difference, meaning that at an efficient range of fire, the Abrams will shoot more often the TATU than the TATU hits the Abrams. So that means that the NATO tanks have generally a better chance of killing the packed tanks at a short range. So basically what you do is, when you buy a packed tank, you've got the ATGM in the price, of course. That's why the TATU is in pawn so expensive. So you need to really use those ATGMs. You've got two solutions. Either you stay at a max range and you benefit from the range bonus you have with the 2,800 meters here. This one. You benefit from the range and you shoot only your ATGMs before engaging at main gun range. Or, well, that's pretty hard to do, because once you shot one ATGM, you can't. It's not a fire and forget missile. You have to stay static to shoot the missile and let it go to its target. That means once you shot your missile, the enemy will still come forward, and you won't have the time to shoot another missile before the battle with the main gun engages. So what you have to do is this little tip I'm going to give you to engage both with missile and main gun at short range to give you an edge over the NATO tanks. Here we go. So that's actually a developer that gave me the little tip a few days ago. Basically what's going to happen, I'm going to activate both weapons. Normally I'm at gun range, so everything's okay. I'm going to activate both weapons. What happens is that it will automatically use its main gun, its main weapon, so it will shoot with that first. Once the shells are gone, I'm going to deactivate the gun. The tank will automatically switch to the ATGM. It will load, fire, and once the ATGM is fired, when it's in the air, I'll reactivate the gun. What will happen is that the ATGM will continue to its target. While it's flying, the main gun will reload, and just when the ATGM hits, the main gun will finish reloading and fire at the Abrams. Let's go. It's main gun shooting, cutting it, switching to ATGM, fire, reactivate the gun, ATGM hits, and the gun finishes reloading and shoots again. Let's do it again. Deactivating gun, ATGM preparing, ATGM firing, reactivating the gun, ATGM hitting, and gun shooting right after that. So that's pretty powerful. That means that between two main gun shots, you can shoot an ATGM. And that's really impressive. I mean, you need, of course, a bit of micro to manage that, but if you have just one small encounter on the battlefield, that can give you a huge edge for your tanks against the NATO tanks. So that's really a nice tip to have. It's actually the fun thing is that it's a developer that came to me saying, I'm fed up with all these guys thinking that Pact is underpowered and NATO overpowered. Yes, there are some little problems, but it's not a big NATO OP thing. I'm going to tell you how you can manage your Pact tanks to make them more efficient and destroy the NATO tanks. that was pretty funny. So that's basically the little tips on the tanks. So then general things on tanks, well, as I've told you, Pacts have generally ATGMs, NATO don't have. So when you play NATO, you've got to use cover, you've got to use smoke to get into gun range and close range to benefit from your high accuracy, or higher accuracy than the Pact's tanks, and hit them quite often and destroy them at close range. So that's basically it. Pact has a long range advantage, NATO has a short range advantage, and now with this little tip, Pact can still win battles at short range. So that's basically it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for another training or something else. We'll see you. Thanks for watching. See you.